My name's Amata, and in this Red Gaming Tech video I'm here with the latest from the gaming world in the last 24 or so hours. In fact, today I'm going to be talking all about Call of Duty Black Ops 4, as of course we had a bunch of information revealed at an event in Los Angeles done by developer Treyarch, and they revealed a bunch of information about the game, some of which is really quite interesting. Now, the first of which is actually that the game is not going to have a single player campaign. Now, obviously this is a pretty massive diversion for the series, but there have been numerous people who've said, many times that they should just reserve the money that they spend on the single player to put into the multiplayer, zombies mode, all that sort of thing, because a lot of people probably don't even touch the single player campaign, so obviously those funds could be put to arguably better use, and it seems they agreed. Now, I've got a bit of a statement here from Dan Bunting, the studio co-head at Treyarch, who did an interview with Polygon. This will be linked in the description below this video, of course, who said, quote, "When we set out to make this game, we never started with the idea that we would make a traditional campaign. That was just not part of our plan. We started from a place that we were going to make a game that across the board can be playable with friends. That's been our mission from day one. Of course, through the course of development, as always happens with every game, we're to challenge our conventions, trying different things. Sometimes our things are bold and crazy and innovative, sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't work out. As development goes on though, you're always pushing the best ideas forward, and that's what we reflected today." But then he said, quote, "If you look at the Black Ops series and how players have interacted with it, how our players are engaged with our games, changes in the industry around us are obviously a big part of it. It's being more and more experienced as a social thing. Of course, we have a very large zombies following with the Black Ops franchise, and when you look at how they interact with our game, whether it's in the game itself, online, forums, streamers, YouTubers, everybody's interacting as a community, and it's a pretty massive phenomenon. When you said that kind of passion for our game that we feel is potentially undeserved, we want to make sure we have more of that. The same is true of multiplayer." So what I think he's basically saying here in a lot fluffier way is, we wanted to deliver more of what the fans are already kind of crying out for more of. Now, you might wonder what this actually means for the future plans of how they're actually going to deliver the game, because of course with the content and how that's released, are they going to continue with the usual release plan of DLC map packs and zombies episode every few months? But unfortunately he did not have an answer for us on that. He simply said, quote, "I can't tell you at this point in time what that's going to look like, but I can tell you that we're pushing hard to release content to our fans in a way that's going to make them happy and in a way that we believe is the right thing to do in this stage in our game's lifespan." So what about the rest of the game, I hear you ask? You heard the word zombies mentioned there, and of course that is going to be one of the three pillars that are in the game. The first being, of course, the multiplayer, the second being zombies, and the third being Blackouts, the inevitable Battle Royale mode that is going to enter, obviously, a fairly competitive market that is pretty much dominated by the two heavyweights, Fortnite and PUBG. Now, before we talk the differences that we saw in the gameplay trailer, let's talk about zombies just for a second, because that's also going to be fairly different as well, with a ton of custom option and modes, as well as what look like mini campaigns. So it looks like it's all going to be sort of set in very different themes and different arenas, I guess is the right word to use, but it does look like they're definitely experimenting, as it were. But the multiplayer reveal trailer, there are health bars. Health regeneration is not going to be automatic. You have to heal yourself or actually rely upon a medic who obviously is going to be working as the healer. Now, I definitely like that, to be honest, because I've never been all that keen on regenerating health in shooters. I think that's one of the reasons I prefer an older school style of FPS like Doom, because it actually has tension. I can't just hide behind a wall and wait for my health to regenerate. I have to, take the risk and kill that enemy so I can get to that health pack over there, and if I pull it off, that just feels awesome. So I prefer that personal style, but I think that move is definitely going to get a bit of a mixed reception. Personally, I like it, but that is, of course, just my opinion. Now, as you undoubtedly notice with the trailer, which of course is playing, and there's going to be a proper copy of it, with audio linked in the description below as well, is that there are 8 new specialists, which are basically hero classes that allow you to use special abilities and have different strategies and of course ways to play those particular characters. Now, all of this definitely has an Overwatch flavour to it, which does kind of lead into the fact that on PC, Black Ops 4 is only going to be available on Battle.net, which of course is Blizzard's launcher for Overwatch, Hearthstone, StarCraft and all that good stuff. But I mean, I think it looks interesting, but I definitely think it's going to be a controversial move that they have clearly taken a lot of inspiration from what's going on in the industry, you know, with a bit of a hero shooter in there. Obviously, you've got a bit of Battle Royale, and obviously the other changes to the multiplayer, like health bars, no auto-regenerating health, that sort of thing. It's definitely a bit of a change. I'd love to hear some thoughts from you guys, because all of this looks pretty refreshing to me in terms of a change for the series. In terms of original ideas, not so much, to be honest, but I'm not really a big Call of Duty fan. Like, the games that I like from the series are the ones that everyone hates, like Advanced Warfare. So clearly, my opinion might not be worth all that much as to how this looks. So I'd love to hear some thoughts from you guys, you know, people who've been playing Call of Duty since day dot. You know, what do you think of the reveal? I'd love to hear your thoughts. You know, you've heard me talk about it for ages now. So, I'm interested, which is more than I usually am in most Call of Duty games. As I say, I really enjoyed Advanced Warfare, the changes that made, and the games following that. But, I have to say, this looks interesting. Doesn't look like it has a whole lot of original ideas exactly, but as I discussed in my Horizon Zero Dawn review ages ago now, like over a year ago, just because you make use of ideas that have already been done doesn't mean you can't present them in a new way and an interesting way. So, I'm kind of intrigued, basically, is my TLDR for this particular video. I definitely have a feeling, though, as I already said, that this is definitely going to be met with a mixed reaction, as it were. A lot of people are going to lament the fact that it doesn't really seem to be coming with a lot of innovation, you know, in its arms. It's got a special gift of, like, the new, fresh series, as in, like, you know, new ideas we've not seen in anything else, or an idea done in a different way, perhaps it's doing Battle Royale in a completely different way, or something like that, then it might be a bit different. But I definitely think there's going to be a bit of a mixed reception for this, but, as I say, I'm interested. So, that's me done for this particular video. Of course, keep your eyes peeled. There will be at least one more video from me today. So thank you very much for watching. Do forgive my voice, by the way. I'm currently suffering from a cold. But regardless, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.